If you saw our live video from earlier Monday midday, you'll see that the water was trying to clean up. It was pretty sandy and shallow, but about 200 yards off the beach. In Ponte Vedra, it was cleaning up, and that's pretty much the whole story from about Hannah Park south. Heard the water was a little bit better up north, Fort Clinch area, and the Fernandina area, Little Talbot area, and down in Volano a little bit better. But the next few days, it should actually well, we should say it should clean up. As you know, with surf fishing, nothing's a certainty. There's times where we get the right winds we think we need and the water stays dirty, but hopefully that's not the case. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, the winds are pretty much going to be about the same. East, southeast, 10 to 15, maybe a little bit higher. So it shouldn't be too bad. The surf will probably stay around 2 foot, 2.5 foot. But the good thing is there's a lot of fish in the surf. If you saw the surf over the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, it was huge, up to 5 to 7 foot, and that's why it got dirty. But there were still reds caught, whiting, bluefish, some pompano, speckled trout, tarpon. There's a nice tarpon caught by Courtney in the surf. Looked like about 100-pounder. So that's fun. But the next few days, if the water cleans up, the mullet will get back on the beach. Remember, first thing in the morning is the best time to get them. They get in inches of water. But and the sand fleas, we need them to show back up. Last week or so, guys, at least in the Jacks Beach area and Ponte Vedra area, they have been extremely hard to find. I'm having to dig down, 4 to 5 inches just to get them. They're deep, so the rake is not really. I'm keeping the rake in the truck because I can't really use it that deep. But the ones I am finding are good size, and the fish are eating them. But next few days, this water cleans up. Get out there on the falling tide and the first of the incoming, and there's fish to be caught. Literally everything, whiting. There are keeper pompano showing up, black drum. Saw a sheephead was caught in the surf today. Wasn't near any structure either, so there's sheephead cruising the surf. Speckled trout, Spanish mackerel, bluefish, redfish, the whole 9 yards, tarpon, and plenty of sharks. But bring your net to catch the mullet. Try to get some sand fleas. And this time of year, crab knuckles work really well. The whiting and the pompano eat them, as well as the reds and drum. Look for a nice little slough or a good run out to fish in, and those fish will be holding in it. I looked at the water temperatures pretty much in this area, all the way down to Flagler. It's holding around 82. But the good news is I checked out the North Carolina water temperatures, and in a lot of areas along the coast there, it is now down to 74. So what that means for us is that those pompano up north are going to start making that migration. And the faster, like we said, the faster the water temperature drops up north, the sooner the schools of pompano will make it to us. And some of the ones I've seen caught the last few days are like 14 to 16 inches, but they are fat. Usually the fall run of pompano, those fish are nice and thick and good eating. So we'll see what happens. Weather looks like it'll be very fishable the next 3 days. So let's see some reports. The shrimping in the river seems to have picked up. I've seen some good reports of that. So if you have a good area to go shrimping, go get some of those shrimp. Those are some of the best shrimp you can use to fish in the surf, dead or alive. And if you want to, I highly suggest it. If you have a good place to shrimp, it doesn't hurt to freeze about 20 or 30 pounds for this fall and winter whiting run. In fact, the pompano will eat those fresh shrimp too in the fall. You got to remember the Mayport area, and I would say even like up in Fort Clinch, wherever there's shrimp coming out of the river, those fish congregate and they're feeding on them heavily. So if you're fishing near an inlet, those fresh shrimp will work really well to catch pompano as well as all the whiting, reds, and all of that. Mangrove snapper is still biting in the river, as well as the flounder, trout. There's some big croakers coming up, mainly in the Mayport area, Dames Point area if you have a boat. Remember, guys, the flounder season is about to come to a close for a month and a half. I believe October 15th it's closed. So we got a few days left. Get out there and if you're not going to hit the surf, I'd suggest hitting the river and trying to get some flounder to freeze up some fillets, because there's some nice ones being caught. Over the weekend, I saw several posts on social media with some 24, 25-inch flounder, and they're fat. They're running like 6 to 7 pounds, so that's a lot of meat. And saw some more snook were caught too. So our area here in Northeast Florida is really producing well with the snook here lately. And the one I cleaned, it was 30 inches. And if you've never had snook and you catch one that's a keeper, just try it once. I know a lot of people say throw them back, but there are more snook here than you know. In the last 3 months, I've caught 25 and lost just as many because they break me off. But excellent fish. The fillets are thick. And I just wanted one. That's all I'm going to keep this season. If I catch any more legal ones, they'll be swimming off. That's how it goes. I just wanted to try it. It reminds me a lot of grouper. Real flaky meat. We made fish tacos with it, and it was excellent. The kids loved it. The wife loved it. So we got some more. We froze the other half. I mean, these fillets, it's like a big trout. You know, when you get a big trout, it's all meat. So if you got some big live shrimp, it doesn't hurt to find a nice little eddy around any type of structure in the river. Those snook will hang in that area. It'd be nice one day if we get some more snook along the beach. If you remember last December, my buddy Randy, fishing with sand fleas in the middle of December, caught a 37-inch snook in South Jacks Beach. I don't know if you weren't familiar with December of last year. In November, it got pretty cold. Yep, Randy, man, 37-inch. If you remember, in the middle of November, it got pretty cold, right? But then in December, it warmed back up, and all of a sudden, we had a huge surge of finger mullet on the beach again. And we started killing the speckled trout on the beach again. And in all my years of surf fishing, at least here, I don't know about anywhere else, but here in Northeast Florida, I've never seen so many speckled trout in the middle of December in the surf. And that had solely to do with all the mullet. And I truly believe that snook came out of the river following all of these mullet. And he came across that sand flea and looked at it as a tasty morsel. That's why I think I catch, when I'm fishing with sand fleas, I catch more redfish, legal redfish on sand fleas than finger mullet. And like I said before, my theory is they eat mullet, they get full, and where they might be able to gorge themselves on a mullet, that sand flea, man, they come across that and they just suck it right in and fish on. I've had a lot of fish using finger mullet in the fall when the run's real thick of mullet. They'll hit it, suck it in, and then drop it, and you'll reel in the mullet, and the mullet actually be folded in half and all the scales gone. That's how you know it's a red. And so makes you wonder, they're just so full, but they can't help themselves. Whereas they hit that sand flea, that hook gets right in the corner of their mouth. So that's that. Hope everyone has a great few days. Let us know what you're catching in the comments. If you haven't joined us on our Facebook, as long as it's still up, right? Facebook had some major problems today, or I should say Monday. It's Broken Reel 23 on Facebook as well, and we get several reports a day from up and down this area of people fishing. So I don't come on YouTube to put every single update on. So on Facebook, there's lots of updates from different people and what they're catching to help you guys out. So that's all I got. Hope everyone catches some fish and be safe.